In the second episode of A.S.A.P Tech News, we talk about the Intel launching its Iris Xe Max discrete graphics card processing units for notebooks, Nvidia apparently working on the new RTX 3080 Ti, and Crytek making a new FPS game. Also, a new RGB product that I cannot understand for the life of me why it even exists, but more on that later on. Onwards with the video. We start with Intel and their recently announced mobile discrete graphics processors. These chips are powered by the 11th gen Core Tiger Lake CPUs, and they are built on Intel's 10nm super thin silicon fabrication process. The Iris Xe Max features an LPDDR4X dedicated memory with 4GB of memory and a bandwidth of 68GB per second. The graphics units themselves are clocked at 1.65 GHz and they communicate with the Tiger Lake CPUs over a common PCI Express 4.0 X4 bus. The gaming aspect of these new mobile graphics processing units is advertised as offering over 30 frames per second in AAA video games at 1080p. It apparently compares in performance with the Nvidia GeForce MX450 discrete GPU, which is okay-ish, I guess, even though everyone including me expected more from a brand new product, especially in this current climate of graphics cards and high-powered games. Moving on with Nvidia news, well, more rumors and leaks because why not? This time apparently Nvidia is working on the GeForce RTX 3080 Ti, which has no less than 20GB of GDDR6X VRAM. A leak was published on Twitter by a well-known individual that was apparently on point with several leaks in the past. The leak itself is showing the work on a new graphics card, most likely the RTX 3080 Ti. The specifications of these graphics cards are not complete, but we have enough to get a rough idea of what we can expect if the leak is actually true. The graphics card has the same CUDA core count as the RTX 390 and has a new GPU codename, which is GA102250. As always, this will be interesting to see, not only because it affects the market, but how the pricing of other graphics cards will change, especially the competing models from AMD. As always, AMD might drop the price because that's what they do when competition comes back. Moving on Twitter, it has been rumored that Crytek, the developer, is working on a new Crysis game called Crysis Next, and this game is not a prequel to the original Crysis or a sequel or a new take on the story. This game will be a free-to-play battle royale first-person shooter, and the only thing that I can say about this is that there are no tools in existence that could measure my level of disappointment when I saw this, especially since the Crysis Remastered was launched and that game was a massive flop for many reasons. And now this, a battle royale. This is like having RGB on your SSD and then bragging about it on your date. Anyway, the game was surfaced in a job posting placed by Crytek, and that's pretty much what we know so far about the game itself. But I still think that it is a tragedy, especially since there are so many loose ends within the original Crysis story and lore that could create amazing new games. But no, a battle royale game, that's what we get. And finally, ADATA decided to launch the SE770G, an external SSD with, get this, RGB. Why would an external drive require RGB? Is beyond me. An external drive. External and portable devices are by nature a delicate thing to operate, not because they are fragile, but because they require power to work, and you are adding RGB, which I suspect will increase the overall power consumption of the drive itself and also increase the temperature of the SSD itself, as we have seen in plenty other cases with RGB enabled SSDs. This SSD uses USB 3.2 Gen 2 and Type-C connectivity and features speeds of up to 1000 MB per second for reads and 800 MB for writes. Nothing about the pricing or about any type of protection for the internal storage drive, but we have RGB, so there's that. There is also a 3-year warranty, so don't drop it that soon.